front row with Maverick Vinales and Cal Crutchlow. Joan Mir, his closest championship rival, 10 points between lap race. Tyre choice will be absolutely critical. Late thumbs up from his crew there for Joan. Soft Michelin front tyre, soft rear tyre. Clearly a soft rear tyre for Fabio Quartararo. He said yesterday it was by choice and managing those tyres over this long race distance.
Here in Aragon, away goes Franco Morbidelli from the second row in Aragon for the first time in 3 years. Marc Marquez will be watching this, sounding more and more like he won't be, but we'll have to just wait and see in a few days' time. The fans at Battle of Aragon begins. 19 points covering these four riders.
The last 8 MotoGP races are won by Spanish talent. The last one, KC11. Will the onus fall on Maverick Vinales or Joan Mir? Can Aleix Espargaro spring? And pleasantly temperatures in the low 20s, not a lot of wind around. It's all set up, the stage set for an absolute class.
Track temperature there, 31 degrees. Just about the highest temperature that we've had on.
Will be strong from the get-go. The start vital for Maverick Vinales. He knows how good Quartararo is launching at MotoGP Aragon. Well, he's knocked on the door a few times, hasn't he? The 25-year-old Spaniard. He's been 4th here.
The last minute by Jack Miller, wasn't he, last year? A stoppy there, just getting some heat into the brakes from
Alex Rins. Great race pace in FP4 yesterday. If he can keep himself out of trouble early on, we know the Suzuki. And there's Joan Mir. Many people think it's his day today to win in MotoGP for the very first time.
Who from the second row is Jack Miller and Franco Morbidelli, and Morbidelli goes through ahead of his teammate and will lead into turn 1.
Briefly, it's a Yamaha 1, 2, 3. It was a great start by Maverick Vinales from second. He rubbed elbow. Vinales leads.
Look at Alex
start by
Rins.
Rins as well. Alex Rins 10th to 4th.
Unbelievable
lap then so far for Alex Rins. Absolutely sensational. Got ahead of the Ducati of Jack Miller. Mir started 6th. First corkscrew for the first time.
This couldn't have gone better for Maverick Vinales at the start. This would have been his dream start. Number 4.
Yeah, Maverick on the move. Big time here early on. He's already opened up a big gap. Here comes Franco Morbidelli. He was taken out, mate. Fabio Quartararo. Quartararo just about hangs on around the outside. Here's turn 14 where Fabio, but it's Vinales that has a clear advantage heading down the back straight for the first time.
Based on the rhythm that we've seen from the season, full stop.
Really stretching his legs early on here. Mir trying to find a way through on the Ducati of Jack Miller. Power this year, not by that much so. Sensational first lap for Vinales. He leads by 7/10 of a second. Pinches a spot there on the brakes on Andrea Dovizioso into turn 1. Great move by the Moto2 champ.
Cal Crutchlow, 9 places in 12th. On the opening lap, Cal Crutchlow, number 35, so a lot of work for him to do, just up a few places behind his teammate.
Yeah, Petrucci on the tail of Andrea Dovizioso yet again. We advantage over Fabio Quartararo. Now, Mir still unable to find a way through on the Ducati of Jack Miller.
Quartararo into turn 8 there.
By far the best we've seen in the drive from Alex Marquez. That just shows how important it is to get in.
Your helicopter view then of the race leader, Maverick Vinales, number 12 on the Monster Energy Yamaha. Just behind him, the Aussie.
Yeah, this is a scenario, Steve, wasn't it, in Barcelona? Mir spent too much time behind Jack Miller, just failed to recover it. One more lap in Barcelona, Mir was going to be the winner. Dovizioso fight
at that between the number 73, the Moto2 world champion, and Dovi.
Andrea Dovizioso would probably think, you know what, I'm about to contend with Marquez.
Good stuff from Alex Rins there, then he moves up into 3rd place, and we've said it time and time again.
See the launch that Rins got because he judged it to absolute perfection. Absolutely incredible run.
Maverick Vinales is going to be asked some questions here by Fabio Quartararo. It's been a horrible weekend for number 63.
Unmitigated disaster. He said yesterday with Miguel Oliveira for 16th place. It's a very dejected figure. You can see the thing that's caught him out.
Meanwhile at the front, a raging battle. To turn 15 we go. It's Vinales from Quartararo, from Rins, Morbidelli, and
start worrying about reeling in Franco Morbidelli, who since Rins passed him has had nothing for the Spaniard. Alex go with the top 3 right now, the number 21. Vinales then, so far so good for him. He leads at the end of lap 48.404.
Alex Marquez makes another place up. He's gone ahead now with Taka Nakagami. He's into the
podium. Yes, it was in the wet conditions in Le Mans, but he's really built on that confidence and momentum. Stunning performance. He's a rookie, mixing it with the very best at the front in MotoGP.
Well, Rins is in the position that Joan Mir, Fabio Quartararo
Yeah, Franco Morbidelli at the moment has just got no speed. 49.4 from Morbidelli in the lead group that was in the 49s, a lot slower than those around him was Franco Morbidelli. Is he just trying to be a little bit more cautious and conservative at this stage of the race?
Well, maybe because of his heated.
Rins just swarming all over the rear tyre here. Fabio Quartararo will ride on board the Suzuki, man.
Definitely everyone in front of him is on the soft rear. I think Jack has obviously gone medium, thinking about the end of those soft rears are worth about a second a lap.
Yeah, thank you very much. The same applies to this group. Out front then, Vinales it is that leads. Maverick Vinales, that means.
Marquez was in a little bit hot at the first corner there. Don't know if that cost him a couple of places. Cal Crutchlow, who started on the front row of the grid for the first time in 24 Grand Prix.
So with that already this year.
Yeah, that has cost him dearly, didn't it, in Mazzano. Here Quartararo, about on par was Alex Rins with a 48.7. Morbidelli really did he did a PB lap on that previous lap. In fact, he was the quickest of the lead group on that last circuit, Morbidelli.
To turn 14, but the KTMs are having a nightmare here at this moment in time.
He's got to be patient here, Alex. Vinales is still within his sight, although Vinales looks like he's just eking out that advantage. 7/10. Thank you very much. I'll take that second spot without really having to fight for it.
Across the line we go then, and it's a Suzuki into place. Quick check on the lap times on that last lap. Rins was quicker than Vinales out front, in 5th place.
That's no great surprise, is it? He's found his rhythm now, the fuel loads lightning. In 03, didn't we? Certainly in 2014 when they fought it out for the title, right to the last race in Valencia.
Cal Crutchlow trying to recover on the dismal start is in 11th. He's moved up 1 place ahead of Aleix Espargaro. Morbidelli's closing now on Fabio Quartararo as well. Is Quartararo in trouble in the early stages of this one? In the background there, you're going
brilliant.
for it. Brilliant move. 6th place now then for Alex Marquez, but he's slightly wide in. He's got the inside ever dry position. 6th here in Aragon.
Well, we do know he loves Motorland Aragon. 4 podium.
Miller using that Ducati power though to pull back alongside Alex Marquez and retaliates. He's got the inside loop.
Marquez just picks up Miller. Brilliant battle that then, and this is bringing Taka Nakagami right back into it as Vin's with that clear track. Once he dispensed to Fabio Quartararo, he's been able to latch right onto the rear tyre of Vinales.
Position so many times before, and it's not always gone right. Not, of course, a race winner.
The Top Gun hasn't fired too many blanks this weekend so far, and he'll be desperate. He knows that he's still firm.
Are going to come here, and can he answer them? Alex Rins closing on the number 12. In the background, Mir as well, and Franco Morbidelli. And Quartararo is just struggling a bit at the moment to hold the line.
And that's that little tussle between the determined Taka Nakagami.
So Rins heading move coming at the end of the back straight, because the Suzuki, of course, this year has a bit of an advantage on the
Yamaha SRT boys swapping similar paint, the same paint. Quartararo then now tries to fight back. Is he
snapping? Unbelievable. Mears goes up into 3rd place. The Petronas Yamaha boys then are out of...
It was a battle of who was going to break the latest. They both braked as late as they possibly could.
And he was faster than anyone ahead of him. Faster than anyone ahead of him. Right now, Alex Marquez is the fastest.
Yeah, everybody thinking that it was just a wet weather race that got him on the podium last time out. Well, he's buried
here then in Aragon to continue the Marquez run in northeastern Spain. Long wait, it's 3 Ducatis, 8th, 9th and 10th. Miller just ahead of Dovi and Petrucci.
It's laps 15, 16 on. How much they do indeed drop off and deteriorate towards the last few laps. Maverick Vinales then looking back. Vinales said he's been working a lot on improving his acceleration and his speed out of this turn 15. Length or 2 on Alex Rins as they sweep down the back straight.
In the background there, Cal Crutchlow's gone through on Danilo Marquez. Catching Fabio Quartararo. And there's Rins, he's through and he leads. Alex Marquez is through on the World Championship leader.
More grey hairs and no nails for Davide. Crashed a couple of corners later, didn't he? So far, he's got through on Maverick Vinales.
Sol Honda rider then has disposed of the World Championship leader like he's on a Moto3 bike.
Yeah, Fabio Quartararo has been suffering, hasn't he? Looks like tyre-wise and body-wise in the first few laps here. He was out a little bit wide, wasn't he? And
look at the grip that they've got though.
That says that the edge grip has always been a real strong point. Wide on the brakes and in the back straight so many times. That's been really problematic for Fabio Quartararo.
So let's try and take stock of what's going on here. Mir's closing on Maverick Vinales. Rins leads at this moment to the front, but as it stands, he's doing an amazing job ahead of Quartararo. Then it's a 1 second gap.
Had to wait 13 years, didn't they? Mazzano 2007 to have two bikes on the podium. Marquez going for on the inside, charging Spaniard. He certainly is.
His ability to be able to turn that Repsol Honda is on either in the 48s.
Well, we talked about how Spanish talents dominated recent history here in Aragon with 8 successes. Mir and Alex Marquez, who's having the ride of his life in the dry in MotoGP. Half race distance.
Here's the replay of the start. Watch Alex Rins on the left. Look at which is pretty brave. Fantastic effort.
Yeah, we've seen all season long how good Suzuki's launch device. Poor start. Joan Mir had to check up behind him. You can see there it was. Elbows and knuckles out for Maverick Vinales. And
the lights went out. It looked like he'd got a good start. But
yeah,
of course, he hasn't got that launch device. And it's
absolutely sensational launch off the line then by Alex Rins Suzuki. Cal Crutch head. Andrea Dovizioso at the moment, nothing going for him at all. He's down in 9th place, and now Crutchlow.
Across the line we go. Fastest rider again, tiny margin. Nakagami now, second fastest man on circuit. Cal Crutchlow will be ruined.
Lap by lap here. Nakagami's all over his case. He's got Miller, Dovizioso and Crutchlow to worry about, who are behind him and
not done a lot of laps on that medium front. And you're right, Matt, he's in big trouble here.
Particularly with Mir ahead of his Aragon Grand Prix, is potentially the new MotoGP World Championship leader.
He's actually going to fall into the habit, finishing ahead of Quartararo. What a coup that would be based on what happened here yesterday.
Nakagami's going to get him on the brakes in the turn. Defending with all of his might at the moment because there's a real big ganging up right.
You'd only lose 3 points in the World Championship.
And you'd expect Dovi, having gone medium, that he's going. Fabio Quartararo, is he about to surrender another place? This final couple of corners have been really difficult. Those last couple of corners, how many places has Fabio Quartararo lost there? He's lost another one now to Taki Nakagami.
Roll 2, is that a setting to change to? Either way, Quartararo cannot hold a line and cannot hold a place in the top 8.
Petrucci, Zarco and Aleix Espargaro, they're not a million miles behind him. Dovi's just got down to a low 1.
Marquez again, the only rider in the 48.
You can just see visually Fabio Quartararo just looks tight. He looks tight.
It's amazing, isn't it, how things can change so quickly in MotoGP. This is almost on the tail of Joan Mir, the number 73. Tetsuhiro, of course, down there. Julian will be having kittens.
Yeah, he will. I mean, what an occasion, can't it? I mean, Alex Marquez now is seriously in this victory hunt here in Aragon.
Morbidelli's dropped to...
I think Dovi's got Fabio Quartararo, who's struggling right now. He has. Dovi did get him. Quartararo.
Dovi's through on Quartararo and moves up into 8th place.
His body will be hurting, and it's really hurting his championship challenge right now, as well as he just drops back through the pack. Turn 4. And look at that, live championship. Fabio Quartararo will be just a single point.
Alex Marquez is a transformed character. The Honda is a transformed motorcycle from what we had at the...
To be. Too many people pre-season would have predicted Alex Marquez in the dry, fighting himself in right now, and all credit to him. He's taken some massive criticism for how he got the ride because of 2 world champion. Yeah, did deserve his crack in one of the biggest factory teams we've ever seen in MotoGP history.
Then he loses another place, and it's a Suzuki 1-2. They're side by side on the exit of turn 15, but surely Mir, here comes Mir again. He's got the inside line into the final turn. He'll be able to hold the line better as well.
Need it be a big problem for Fabio Quartararo. Can Maverick Vinales? Absolutely awesome. That came from a long way back, and now he's nicked 3rd place for Maverick Vinales. Awful.
Kez then into 3rd place. Quartararo is down to 11th. Joan Zarco is just...
Kez back in Cervera. He might have knocked it off the wall right now. He'll be jumping around the living room. There's a big twitch there, wasn't there, as Maverick Vinales got on the gas coming out of turn number 8. Is he running into rear tyre trouble?
Will he run into any trouble as this race now gets into the latter stages? 10 lap. The 2 Suzukis, remember, well, they're on those soft tyres, but they're just on the grid. Further back, Quartararo's lost 2 or 3 places in one. Aleix and Pol Espargaro have gone through.
This for Fabio Quartararo in more ways than one.
Binder's now through on him. Is he about to...
Struggling as well. I mean, he's not anywhere near his peak physical best. It's a fast-flowing, very physical circuit. Mental fortitude. Miguel Oliveira's going to pick him off here now.
It was a 151.8.
Of the top 10. It was about holding on into the point scoring places.
That front tyre, he cannot do anything with it.
And how much are the hips playing a major factor in Fabio Quartararo's problems right now? Or is it a combination of both? Probably is a combination of both, because it's been a real nightmare experience. All behind him, I mean, he could be in 18th spot very, very soon.
An extraordinary season we are witnessing in May. They were launching Davide Brivio and Ken Kouachi up in the air. Well, they'll be launched to the moon of Alex Marquez on the Repsol Honda, who on that last lap was again the only rider in the one
Virginio Ferrari.
Blimey, that's before I was born.
Sadly not for me, but I was only 9, so it gives you an indication. Maverick Vinales has got nothing for the top 3 men at the moment. He's just dropping backwards as well.
Back for 6th place. Dovi's right on the tail now of Jack Miller as well.
Lecuona's just got HRC technical manager. He's been criticised for rolling out a motorcycle that's a bit of a beast. Wonders on the RC213V.
Whatever they found in Mazzano, his rookie season, for staying on the bike, he's finished every race so far this year.
Nowhere near the pace. Major problems have hit the Frenchman, unfortunately. He's too...
Rins leads. The gap back to his teammate Joan Mir, 4 tenths. In the top 3, it's not looking at the moment like there's going to be a Yamaha on the podium. And this year, onto the back straight we go, on board there with Joan Mir, looking at Alex Marquez.
Yeah, and 17, hasn't he? The edge grip he's got on that Honda. Some people say the Honda doesn't turn very well. Bit of meekly is going to be surrendering the World Championship lead. Tyre problems, physical problems. Fabio Quartararo.
Here's Dovi, he's got through on Jack Miller. He's up into 7th place.
Training crashes on a cold front tyre for him in both Friday practice sessions, so that's been a really good rest.
Been a difficult day for the Austrian manufacturer on a weekend where we thought they might make a step forward.
Place right now, 7 laps to go then, or 6.5. The time of the race where major factor, and we know how good the Suzukis are in this phase of the Grand Prix. There's Danilo Petrucci in Le Mans last weekend, that's for sure.
Wide there from Aleix Espargaro. That will prick us furious with what happened at the start of the race. Cal Crutchlow, he's in 9th at the moment. Binder out front. They're about to cross the line, and there will be 6 laps to go. But Alex Marquez is still there. He is still in the hunt.
Coming into Aragon, and look at this now. He's going to go up the inside of Joan Mir, isn't he, into turn 5? No thought about it. He feels like he can win this, doesn't he, Alex Marquez?
Well, he probably could.
Yeah, absolutely. In these tricky conditions where we know the grip goes away quite quickly. Davide Brivio, well, he can barely watch. We've seen that a few times, that shot.
On the approach to turn 16, Alex Marquez may well be moving up another spot. For those moment, but on the approach to turn 12, under braking, Alex Marquez is looking solid as a rock.
He's wasted a couple of big opportunities so far this year, one being last weekend in Le Mans, but had he not made the shins.
Well, here it is then. He's going to get into the slipstream and turn 16, where he's able to hold the line so much stronger than the side. Here he goes, through he goes, like a hot knife through butter.
He's got that medium front tyre on, hasn't he? Brilliant by Alex Marquez. Can he, incredibly, make it a Marquez victory here in Motorland? Marquez, I mean, this has been absolutely astonishing performance by the younger Marquez brother, trip champion. What's the disadvantage he's got then? Back or up to Alex Rins. Half a second. Got to say, Rins has not looked like making a mistake in the 73 Repsol Honda of Alex Marquez. He would not have been expecting this, Alex Rins. Of course, former team between those two back in the day when they were teammates at Estrella Galicia Honda. Not a lot of love lost at all.
Absolutely outrageous.
I mean, not that Alex Marquez needs any incentive whatsoever to try and bitter rivals. Well, that just incentivises him that little bit more, doesn't it?
The time they come around this start-finish straight, because once again, Alex Marquez closing around that final cut.
That medium front tyre is going to be better in straight up and down braking. It's going to be squishing around less as he Mir struggling to get back on par with the 2 men ahead of him. Raro outside the points in 17th place. Mir might just be thinking now a little bit more about the championship, really. Championship contenders at all.
Are Alex Marquez and Taka Nakagami, both on Hondas.
Well, Nakagami was awesome late on. Alex Marquez, look at his rear tyre, squirming, screaming for grip as he got on the gas coming through. How much of an advantage late on is that medium front going to be?
Well, we'll find out shortly. Dropping down the hill into opposite lock there from Rins. He looks to try and get the drive down the back straight. There will be 3 laps remaining. Quartararo at the moment isn't World Championship leader. He's down in 17th.
Look at
Here
Marquez.
comes Alex Marquez.
That's the medium front corners all race long. Alex Rins at the moment defending absolutely brilliantly, absolutely awesome, as you'd expect, because his man just about keeping Marquez at bay though. Alex Rins, he's right there, right on his case. When is that move going to come then from the
ramp in here is closing on the Suzuki of Alex Rins.
Nah, he's got nothing to lose as well as he, Alex Marquez. You know, Mir looks like he's taken his medicine. He's not going to be having a breakthrough victory in MotoGP today. And let the World Championship lead. Rins, look at his rear tyre squirming as well through turn number 11. They're really struggling now.
Vinales in a lonely 4th place. There will be no podium, it looks like, here for Yamaha. Left there with his fingers still crossed. And is this now going to be the lap where the launch comes from Alex?
You can barely watch.
It's coming now.
He doesn't know what to do with it.
Oh, he's almost down. A major warning. A major warning.
It's Alex versus Alex. Rins versus Marquez with 2 to go in Aragon. Who's going to be the winner?
Wide into turn 1. In the background there, Vinales is closing a bit on Joan Mir.
Alex Marquez running that tighter line again. He just gets that rear tyre spinning up a little bit, doesn't he?
We are key.
Look at the big black line that Alex Marquez left there. That was close to disaster. He's not giving the...
Could it be Joan Mir? Mir looks like he's too far adrift now, and I think you're right. World Championship springs to mind for the number 36.
Has he beaten? Has he fended off the superb charge of Alex Marquez? First corner, to be fair to Alex Rins.
He has a habit of springing a surprise when you least expect it. He did it last year.
From away from this Motorland Aragon circuit, when you talk about home races, home soil, well, that's away from a famous victory here in Motorland Aragon.
Across the line to begin the final lap of this extraordinary race. Another twisted. It's Alex Rins to lose now, but Alex Marquez is not giving this up.
He really isn't, and he's been so good strong with that medium front tyre. There is your new MotoGP World Championship leader in 2020. Alex Marquez is starting to run out of time here. Alex Rins has got, what, about 4 or 5 bike lengths, and it's still Rins that has the advantage.
Dropping down then, Alex Marquez is just, you know where he's...
These are a crucial couple of corners now then for Alex Marquez. He's got to try and get close enough to get those final couple of corners. Is he going to be close enough? Rins riding out of his skin to stay in the lead.
For 3rd place,
now
coming out of the final turn.
It's all about the drive. It's all about the drive. Can Alex Marquez, every ounce of slipstream? I don't think he's going to be close enough. Alex Rins looks like he's got this one covered. He's running an Aragon.
It's Alex from Alex. Astounding victory for Alex Rins here in Aragon. A solid 5th place finish for him. Morbidelli 6th and Dovi in 7th. But what a ride from Alex Marquez's first win of 2020.
And there is forlorn Fabio Mare Grand Prix here in Aragon for Fabio Quartararo. 2 monumental crashes and he loses.
To close on the World Championship lead. He started today 18 points down, trying to find a glove that he'd launch.
Look at his recent record as well, Dovizioso.